Please don't look at me as a sad case. Okay. As you can see, I'm busy going over a design. I like to call this design circumflex aigu grave. Circumflex aigu grave. In French, this is a circumflex. Okay. In French, this is accent aigu. This is accent grave. Okay. As you can see, it tunnels. Do you see the tunnel that goes this way and the tunnel that goes that way? Here's my center C. Inside here is that lamp or that light that goes in between. In the deck of cards, you can actually see the sword that the kings are holding. Okay. In NASA, maybe you can also see a rocket ship. Now, when I go to cover in my first corner, can you see the upside down cross here? There's going to be one here, and there's going to be one that goes on this side. And I can probably sit here over an hour drawing this, and as we draw it, we remove parts, because the more parts we put, what's going to happen is all we're going to see is mirror images. But we also have to understand that in life's creations, I mean, if we're going to California, let's say I'm going to visit you, you don't see me packing my clothes and putting my socks and preparing my underwear and getting on a plane and flying out or jumping in my car and crossing the border. You don't see me taking the, how I get there. You don't see me, you see a plane going and a plane arrives, but you don't see the person manufacturing the plane. So you're born through your mother, through the father's sperm and the mother's egg, and all of a sudden you're a child that's here. But it took way more to get you to this planet Earth than anything you would ever imagine. We live in such a wonderful world. So what I'm going to do now is I want to speak to you because I'm being bothered a little bit. I have a lot of little items, and they mean absolutely not half as much as some people say, you know what? I don't see exactly what you see, and I can't explain it myself. I just know the creation of this came from really an altered state or an altered world. There's just so many tiny little designs, the basic 9 design here in the center. But what if I just put one here, one here, one here, and here, one here, fours, all fours. And in the center of that, I'm separated by 2 spaces and 2 spaces and 2 spaces and 2 spaces, and then one in the center. But this one in the center will be 8 around this one, and then 16 around this one, and then 24 around this one, and then 32 around this one, and then they say the word freeze. That is your 0-point freeze. Because in weights measures in temperature, 32 degrees Fahrenheit is 0 degrees Celsius. The letter C for center C, or in Fahrenheit, the letter F, and it's a CF, 3C, 360, creation of 10. The creation of 10 took 360 degrees. At what point is a circle 360 degrees? If I go around a racetrack, a 1-mile racetrack, can I go around in a circle? But most 1-mile racetracks are 11s. It's 11 with 2 curves at the end. And those curves, and when I think about it, it's like saying that can be the moon. The moon shows up here, 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 here. The moon is like everywhere. They can't control the wobble of the earth. It's almost like the arm. There's an arm connected to the moon, and it's on a railway. And here would be the moon, and it's just going around the cup and showing up every. Oh, and it's so funny because this is exactly the moon number. 28-day cycle. On the 3rd cycle of the 28 days, and the 21st of most of months, that's when we hit 7 times 3. We hit the blackjack. We hit the, how can I say it? The chicken will lay the egg. Okay, this is 21 outs. Okay, in the bottom of in the 6th inning, in the bottom of the 6th, when we sing the song "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." 21 is the letter U. 21 is 3 weeks, and it's 3 weeks plus 1 week, and then 1 week plus 2 weeks plus 1 week that we're keep connecting to this moon. We really connect. You see, it's 21 days and 7 days for the link. The chicken on 21 days will have 6 days and 1 day it won't lay, and then 6 days and 1 day it won't lay, and then 6 days. So we'll have 18, 19, 20. We'll have the 20-day cycle finished, the Mayan calendar, and then the one more to lay again, the one more day where she lays again. So that's your 21-day cycle, which is actually 18 and 3. The letter C and the letter R equaling to the letter U. Kr means deep. There must be more. CR to seer, recreation. I don't know. Umpire, vampire. I designed this letter over here, right? Meaning the perfect square, and this is what has to happen. The A shows the center of this. This is an automatic design. Do you follow what I'm saying? This is H and I. The I is in the center. The H becomes the two sides. You see these two blocks here? Forget about the whole image. This block here and this block here with a bar in the center will create your H, or the center line dividing up of the two sides will create your I. So I also like this design also. I like this. I like the way it goes all the way around, right? These designs, I'm just thinking. Then this here, right? The stand, you know, the spade and the club each have a stand, or you put two circles. When you put two circles, you'll have this marking over here. The dividing of the two circles, two marks like this, one above, one below. That would be your I. Two circles here. In between is the I. When I connect the bar on each side through the nose of the center, I connect the two worlds. Female 66, male is 1. Male 1, that 1 gets shoved in the center here and will connect 6 and 6. When you want to connect above and go down, you put the circumflex or the A or the brace, locking up the two worlds. How it works, I don't know. All I can tell you is, according to numbers, that in order to perfect exactly what they did and tell me, I like to know, are my numbers not good? Is there something in the numbers that proves to me that it's just hocus pocus reality? Is there something inside of this that, because don't forget, this didn't exist at the beginning. It was from another world, l'altro mundo, my friend. I want to know if the Chinese ever wrote like this. I want to know if the other world, the ancients, ever wrote like this. Because if they didn't, this system is perfect. 1, 2, 3 equals to 6. 4, 5, 6 equals to 15. 1 and 5 is 6. 7, 8, 9 equals to 24. 2 and 4 is 6. The letters that are created are FOX. The total numeric value of 6, 15, and 24 equals to Fox. The X and O. The X going through here, and the O creating the diamond on 2, 4, 6, and 8, creating EXO. And the 25-20 system, because 7, 5, 3, 9, 5, 1 equals 25. 8, 4, 2, 6 equals 20. The letters are T and Y. Tie them up. Tie, jack up. Tie, 10 up. Titanic. Tie 10 up with an iceberg, my friend. Berg, meaning the family of Berg. Rosenberg. Tie 10 up. Iceberg runs into Titanic, or does Titanic run into iceberg, my friends? This is only 1. This is 2, but only when I get 3 do I have 1 in the center. Now we need to make above as we do below, and upside down. First, we're going to kiss these. Then we're going to put one above the other. You know which design I really, really like? It's what they call the chevrons. When I go down to Toronto, when I used to be on the highway, when they show these chevrons over here, okay, it means separation between the vehicles. They usually say stay 2 chevrons apart. Well, when you put the chevrons up and down like this, although it looks like the one side and the other side, they also look like army stripes. There's usually, how many army stripes? 3 up and only 1 or 2 down. How do army stripes work? They're telling us a story because everything on this earth is so freaking perfect for me. Now, were we created to live our life in this perfect world and have death? How is it possible if there was really death that no one ever lives a certain period of time, right? If no one ever, then how can we actually know? How can we pass on this perfectness from the ancient times that me, 50 years of my life, that I should come upon this and realizing that somebody has created this on purpose for the actual creation? Just like the word heart attack. In French, it's crise de coeur. Crise, see? But we also have to understand the pairing up of our vowels and our consonants. The understanding that for me, the English and the French have really brought this together. If I did a little bit of Spanish, is it supposed to be that it's an English person who finds the primary fittings for understanding and sharing that we should wake up the sheep and the lambs and sew us back together so we can get rid of this AI world? Actually, we're always going to be in some sort of AI world. We're connected to a central source. So is artificial intelligence the real intelligence that comes from the spirit world? Spirits being SPIR, SP, Standard and Poor, where the 16th letter is P and where the 19th letter is S. 19 is the first number. The moon is the first number that shows up on the other side of the mirror in numbers. Unless we take numbers, it's 16 then 19, unless I shift numbers and I turn them this way. You follow? 16 and 19 will mirror this way. So I flip my hands upside down. I have to do this. Otherwise, I need to put it this way, 16 over 19. Instead of it being, if I flip my numbers over, 16, 17, 18, then it'd be 19, 20, 21. What if I took it and I switched it this way? 16 would be over 21. Then we get PU. And PU is a code for when you go shopping, you get a PU code. 16 would be over 21, but you'd still get 17 over 20 as the pin rotating 17 over 20. And then you would get 18 over 19. And that would be 37. That would be the big red sun. Do you know what I'm saying? Instead of a perfect, it would still be the mirror, because 18 and 21 in roulette, I'd have to show you on the floor that 18 and 21 in roulette are both red. 17 and 20 are both black. So no matter what we do, we would still stay with the image of the cube. I don't know if you'd like me to, I'm going to have to design this right here for you. So let's take you off of this. I'm going to show you this on this paper over here. Yeah, it hurts. It hurts. I'm straining myself. I'm straining. So no matter what numbers I do here, this is the exact mirror. It doesn't matter. Normally, you're going to get 16 and 19 over here, but now I'm going to get 16 and 21 equals to 37. I'm going to get 17 and 20 equals to 37. I'm going to get 18 and 19 equals to 37. The total is 111. To the cube, we get 666. To the cube, I get 333. And to the cube, I get 999. 9 and 1, 10 equals 1. 3 and 1, 4. 6 and 1, 7. 1, 4, 7. It must line up. This is our reality. This on the phone shows no letters. This number fits inside here. These two numbers fit inside here, and this is your gateway. 2 times 1, 2 plus 1 equals 2 and 3. 3 and 1 equals to 4. 4 fits inside 5, but it's not the same 3. 3 and 2 comes together to create 5. How would 3 and 2 come together to create 5? We'd have 3 and 2 come together to create 5. We'd have 4 and 1 come together to create 5. X marks the spot. Dog, spot, bury a bone. Bury a bone. How do you mark bury? B-E-R-R-Y or B-U-R-R-Y? And remember, when you mark bury, we have to understand that Chuck Wagon can go with Berry because it's Chuck Berry. And then we'd have to go up Back to the Future because of the songs that came up. And Chuck, Creation of Heaven's Church, or Creation of Man in the U World Church. That's what this word stands for. F shows up. We showed in a prior video what happens to F. You put two F's together, you create an 8. Isn't that funny? Two F's together create an 8. You get 6 and 8. 33 is the reverse of 44 on the cube. We get 6 and 8. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4. Communication of 9 lives of the cat. Why 9? Because 8. Here's your 9th one. Here's that 8 is around. 9 is all. 1, 4, 1, 4, 4, 1, 1, 4, all, 4, 1. 11 equals to 2 equals to 2, 4, 1 equals bad I. Why is it a bad I? Because when you put this together, okay, the Spanish will change it for this letter. When you put 1 and 1 together, it becomes A2 because 1 and 1 equals 2. A2 becomes AB. And it's just a rotation. What does it all mean? I don't know. Inside of here, we have 90 and 21. I count separately. 19 and 21 equals to now 9 and 3. 9 and 3 connects us to Saturn. And inside Saturn, the first, the third, the first, the fourth, and the last letter equals to Sun. We are left with ATR. So now we have the rat sun is Saturn. And it equals to 93, which equals to the rat sky. Now we have to understand what the word rat is, cat is, hat is, because all of these need to relate to AT, alternate transmission. So we have all these things that have just been said. We got down to the chevrons. This is going to turn out to be the Star of David. I'm just going to throw in here that the 110 yards in the CFL, 255 yards, we cannot touch the last yard. We cannot touch the last yard, so it's 109 plus 1, or it's 108, 3 times 36 plus 1 and 1, these touching to be in the end zone. In the NFL, you have 99 and 1, you have Jupiter and 1, or you have 98 and 1 and 1. So we can remove, if you want, 2 yards in the center of the field and keep this at 49 and 49. And this is Christ, and it is the gateway. It is the green gateway of go, because the word 8 equals to 49 and the word green equals to 49. 49 and 98 is the high sky. In Baccarat, 9 and 8 you pull no cards. In Baccarat, 9 and 8 you pull no cards. There's a game. I went from one subject to the next, but I do want to go to this game over here. And inside this game over here that I'm going to show you, and I wanted to link this game. I think I'm going to bring this into the next video because a lot of people won't see. Or how can I fix this so you can see this bigger? How can I make this bigger? Can you read this? In Baccarat, okay, in Baccarat, the game consists of, if you get a natural, we have to understand what a natural is. And then we'd have to relate this to baseball, right? A natural is when you get an 8 or a 9, 2 cards to the player, 2 cards to the bank. If you get a third, there is no third card, the hand ends. If the bank totals 7, if the bank total is 6, then the bank draws a third card if the player's third card was a 6 or a 7. But if the player shows a 7, and the bank shows less than 7, 8, or 9, the bank will pull a card. All these odds in this game, for what reason? For what reason do they have this? There's a reason for this. And we have to sit down and figure out what the reason is. In Baccarat, all tens equal to 0. All tens equal to 0 because 6 and 4, anything to do with 10 is equal to two sides. It equals to 0. 1 is 1. If the bank total is 2, then the bank draws a card regardless of what the player's card is. If the bank total is 3, then the bank draws a third card unless the player's third card was an 8. If the player's third card was an 8, that means the player had to have 6 or less. If it had 6 or less, it would reduce. Okay, 8 and 6 is 14. 1 and 4 equals to 5? No. 8 and 6 equals to 4 in Baccarat, because once you count 10, you count 10 for an area space. So 8 and 6 would be 4. So if the bank total, okay, is 3, okay, the bank total is 3, then the bank draws a third card unless the player's card was an 8. That would make it 4 over 3. But if the bank total was 2, the bank would then pull a card. If the bank total is 4, then the bank draws the third card unless the player's third card was a 0, 1, 8, or 9. If it was a 0, 1, 8, or 9. Because if the third card was a 0 and the bank has a 4, if the bank total is 8, this is a third card rule. But hold on a second. There's more to us. Players' third card rules. Okay. So you're going to have to take a look at this. I'm not going to go over this right now. It's 21 minutes into the video. But we're going to have to look up this thing on Baccarat. There's a whole lot of numbers to figure out over here. And it shows you the banker, house advantage, 117. That means it's the 7th gate. The player's percentage is 1.36. Those would be the laws of Moses. And the standoff would be the 1/4 and the 1/2. And the payout is Venus. Did I make any sense at all? My hands are cold. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. Time will always be on our side. Outside this world, but inside this world, time is catching up to the elite. And we are going to be paying. We are in pain and paying during all the time that we are on this earth in one way or another, for those who are awake, for those who are awake, for those who are suffering, for those who are having fun all the time, they don't actually see it. So who is in the way of total correction? It doesn't matter. Too much to figure out. Right now, just know you know whatever you know. Be good. Peace.